Stage 3 triple negative breast cancer survivor and TV news personality Amy Murphy joins us. Amy, you stress the importance of a self-exam and a mammogram, but why is an ultrasound so important?
Well, Lisa, I wasn't one of those people that was getting a mammogram every year or even 2 years. In fact, I had never had a mammogram until I found my lump. As a matter of fact, I was diligent, though, every month about doing my self-exam. And 1 month, the lump was not there. And the next month, there it was, plain as day, and quite large. So it was palpable. I immediately made an appointment with my gynecologist. She had this look on her face and said, "You are going in right now for a mammogram and an ultrasound." My mammography turned up negative, even though I could feel the lump, which was located right here, close to my underarm and in my right breast. It was palpable. It was, 4 by 5 centimeters when it was all said and done. So it was large, and it wasn't showing up on a mammogram. As soon as they did the ultrasound, it was there plain as day. And they immediately did a core needle biopsy. And, within a day, I found out it was cancerous. So if I hadn't known and been familiar with my own body and known, gee, last month, that wasn't there, this isn't good, and gotten right into the doctor, I don't know what the outcome would have been.
So how soon after your biopsy and ultrasound did you have surgery?
Well, I took a good 3 weeks and started gathering information, using all of my resources, trying to find out as much information as I could about the type of cancer that I was facing, which was triple negative. It's a little different than some of the hormonal cancers. It's not ER positive. It's not progesterone positive. So drugs like tamoxifen and Herceptin, which are very effective breast cancer drugs, don't work on triple negative breast cancer. Only hardcore chemotherapy does, from everything that I had read. So I knew I needed to really take my time and find the right surgeon, somebody who I was going to connect with. And I went to two who were fabulous. And on the third one, that person found a secondary lump that I don't believe would have been found had I gone to anyone else. And she did a needle biopsy. She did another ultrasound right there in her office. She had all the equipment right there. And within hours, she found out that I had a secondary cancerous tumor in my underarm and that I most likely had many lymph nodes that were also cancerous. And that was the case. So it was a matter of weeks before my first surgery. I ended up having 4 surgeries. They didn't get it all. I had to go back. I also had surgery to have a port put into my chest for my chemotherapy because of all of the lymph nodes that were removed from the right side of my body. You can't have chemotherapy in your arm on that side of your body. You will always have to have, injections and other things on the left side. And they were afraid, because of the aggressive nature of the chemotherapy I was going to get, that maybe my veins would collapse. So it was, a matter of weeks, but those weeks leading up to that surgery were filled with many appointments, lots of fact-finding, getting every resource possible I had in line.
Oh, wow. You talk about building your team. Why is your team so important?
Well, I actually, my veterinarian, his wife, had recently gone through breast cancer, and I had taken my dog in to make sure that she was all up on her shots and taken care of, because I knew the next few months ahead were going to be really rough for me. And he had this discussion. He said, "You know what? Best advice we got was you need to build your team. 1 or 2 great friends who will do anything for you, who you don't mind looking your worst in front of." And you all know who those friends are. The family members who are going to be there for you. And I was fortunate. My mother was, flying in from out of town. My stepfather was flying in from out of town. Both of them were right there to take care of me. And, even my dog was part of my team. Having that unconditional love when you're feeling your lowest, and knowing that and she's right behind me. I don't know if you can see her here. There she is. um, Knowing that they're there for you when you're at your lowest was very uplifting to me. So my dog was definitely part of my team. And then the surgeons. You need to get the 3 and the 4 different points of view, because like I have mentioned previously, that third surgeon may have saved my life by finding a secondary tumor that the other 2 didn't. And as soon as I knew, she had all the equipment in her office, she could get me answers right away. She was calling me at 8 o'clock at night. She gave me her pager number. I knew I wanted that surgical oncologist on my team. Her name is Maggie Denome. She is at St. John's in Santa Monica, California. She's Harvard trained. She's amazing. From there, she recommended a couple of different oncologists. I went to see different oncologists, found somebody I could connect with, not only intellectually, but on a spiritual level. A fabulous woman, Carol Nishikubo, who had a hug for me every day that I walked into that office. And, and that's somebody you're going to see 4 and 5 times a day. I'm sorry, 4 and 5 times a week if you're on an aggressive chemotherapy schedule, as I was for 4 months. And then after that, my other team member, Dr. Paul Song, a radiation oncologist, all of them at St. John's in Santa Monica, California. And he is an amazing radiation oncologist who has access to cutting edge radiation technology. I was interested. I had 2 months of it every day, 2 months of it ahead of me after chemotherapy. And I wanted the least amount of radiation possible pinpointed to a certain area. And he knew where to find that equipment. And, they even had valet parking, which made it easy if you're going every single day for 2 months. So those are the sorts of things that you need to have in your corner. And it's that team that somebody, you can go walk your dog. Somebody can go to the store for you. You have days where you don't feel like leaving the house, maybe even weeks, as in my case. And my team was really there for me. That was some of the best advice I got. Build my team.
So in addition to a second and third opinion being so important, you talk about, in the big scheme of things, this is just a speed bump. Explain.
Yeah. I look at it now and I know that it was a big speed bump. That's for sure. It was a good year of my life, getting healthy again and sort of seeing Amy in the mirror again, because as you know, Lisa, your body and you transform. You go from, even though you may have been diagnosed with cancer, most people still look healthy when they're initially diagnosed. It's the treatment that makes you start to look ill and feel ill. And it's when you're staring at yourself in the mirror and you are going, gosh, I guess I really am sick. I'm really fighting this. I had a very good friend of mine who had been through a similar situation the year before and had gone through chemotherapy. And she kept saying, you can do this. I know you and you're tough. And this will be a speed bump. And yes, there'll be days where you feel like you can't go on and you feel extremely nauseated and very sick and you're not going to like the way you look and you're going to get down, but you're going to get through it. And she was absolutely right. It was a speed bump. I'm 100% cancer free. And, and it was an aggressive form of treatment that I had to undergo. But at this point, I'm really glad I did it. There were some side effects, but so worth it to have my life back,
Thank you for your input, Amy. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. And I really hope that if you're struggling with any of these decisions today, that you just go with your gut and, say a prayer. And I'm sure you'll find the right answers for you.